What about Secret Wars?
Secret Wars, yeah. So Secret Wars is actually kind of similar with Convergence, and Secret Wars has precedence because Secret Wars 1 and Secret Wars 2 came out way back in the day. Jeez.
60s?
I want to say, no. I don't think it was that late. But I'm not sure. I think it was maybe early 80s.
Early 80s?
Yeah.
Either way, it's a very old storyline.
And I'm sorry, forgive me, I forget the creative team's name, but it is an old storyline, and it involved the first Secret Wars involved this like mysterious structure showing up in Central Park. All the heroes going to check it out: Fantastic Four, Avengers, Spider-Man, and once they walked into it, they like vanished, and they reappeared on this planet formed by, again, if you think of the universe in a strange fractal sense, that we live in maybe one ring of infinite possibilities, but maybe there's a larger fractal sense out there of another level
generally
of
the
possibilities.
Multiverse theory is essentially saying you come to a fork in the road, it goes left and right.
Right.
There's two different universes based on which road you take. There's a universe where you go to the left, and there's a universe where you go to the right.
This one actually, it takes it at that. So imagine that, all right? And so, there's an infinite number of possibilities within our universe.
Yeah.
Okay. But look at our universe. Think of it as maybe a pattern. Mm-hmm. Okay. And if you have not heard of fractals, just Google something like fractal ring image, and you'll see an example. They're all over the place in art and in nature and whatnot. And the way that this story is kind of portrayed is that consider that our universe is maybe as a ring, and the entity that created this scenario comes from an even higher plane of more powerful, more complex, that is within its own kind of multiverse plane, right?
Interesting.
So it'd almost be like humans studying bacteria kind of a thing.
Okay.
All right? Yeah,
Makes
sense. I mean, that's the level that we're talking about. Like, we're the bacteria.
So we are inconsequential to them, almost.
Yeah. Like, this was really kind of came across as an experiment by an entity called the Beyonder. Okay, so powerful that even Galactus. Boom, Galactus. The world
so
leader.
themed today.
A cosmic force, could not compete with the Beyonder. Right? So, like, more powerful than most anything or the entirety of the universe.
Huh.
Okay?
All right.
So the Beyonder decides to hold an experiment and just grab aspects of worlds from all across the universe, and of course that included Earth and Earth's heroes and villains, and just lump them all together and release them and see what happens. Okay, so it's a lot like what Brainiac's doing with Convergence. Okay. And that was the original Secret Wars storyline. It involved a lot of Dr. Doom, one of my favorite Marvel characters of all time, who actually started out with like the villains camp and came to parlay, and of course all the heroes started to attack him immediately. Mm-hmm. Where he was like, you guys are such assholes and ignorant. Fuck it, I'll do better off on my own than with you guys. That's why Mr. Fantastic is such a douche. He really is. Regardless. It ended with a Marvel character that we don't see anymore called the Molecule Man, who was essentially the most powerful character that could have possibly existed because he had the power to manipulate molecules however he wanted. So he could create whatever he wanted out of thin air. Essentially,
yeah,
that's
super overpowered.
It's like Dr. Manhattan level power, but he was actually kind of an idiot and a villain.
Oh, move
right.
At least he's an idiot then.
Yeah. So it all ended with Dr. Doom essentially subverting Galactus like a virus and siphoning all of Galactus's cosmic power, right? attacking the Beyonder, doing essentially the same thing to the Beyonder, siphoning off it and control and like gaining the power of someone who could alter all of reality with a whim, with a thought.
Beyond comprehension.
Yeah, beyond. Yeah, you might as well just call it God at this point.
God.
Yeah, right. like a passing fancy would become reality in Doctor Doom's mind at this point, and Doctor Doom's not really a villain. You know, I mean, everyone who's written him well knows this. And he was written very well because he doesn't like just zap Mr. Fantastic out of existence, which I probably would do if I was Doctor Doom and I just had cosmic level power.
You are not as good of a man as Doctor Doom.
Right? That
how does that feel?
Right? You know, like all the bullshit that they put you through. Just zip, fuck you.
I'm done. Go.
But he doesn't do it. He heals his scars, which is granted kind of vain, but whatever. He heals his scars, takes off his mask, says, all right, we're done with this. This extra multi-dimensional threat is taken care of. I took care of it. Everyone's kind of free to do whatever they want, right? But that's not really, it wasn't really completely taken care of. Beyonder was able to still infiltrate Doctor Doom, and they all just kind of vanished back, we assume, into the Beyonder's reality. They never really approached that. And then everybody kind of went home. That's what happened, right? It was interesting crossover battles with Magneto and everything.
Yeah, it kind of petered out, though.
Yeah, but it was this hard thing to end, you know?
Yeah.
And, but it was a really massive story arc. It's where Venom actually came into existence, because this was the storyline where Spider-Man receives the black symbiote costume and all that, right? And it changed. It really did change the Marvel Universe. And it was a huge crossover. I think it was like, at the time, was Marvel's most successful crossover. It stayed the most successful crossover for a while. Then they did Secret Wars 2, like a year or two later, and wah wah. Oh man.
The first one, at that time, it's kind of more of a novelty than anything. It's like the death of Superman.
Yeah.
It's
a very novel.
That big?
Yeah, because I mean, I think it was the first time like Spider-Man and the X-Men interacted.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think it was.
It's
By the way, Spider-Man kicked the shit out of the X-Men because he felt like it.
I mean, crossovers now and death ofs now are so common that I mean, they're gonna boost sales a little bit, but not that much. Back then, a crossover of this magnitude is almost unheard of.
It was very big. Now every 3 months we hear changes the universe forever.
Yeah.
That's the tagline.
Though I did see on Facebook today, Spider-Gwen is trending, whatever that means.
Well, that's good. Yeah, and that's cool.
Just because they brought back, in a kind of multiverse type story, they brought back Gwen Stacy, who was obviously one of the most famous characters to die.
It was better than
stay dead.
Yeah.
In the comic.
Yeah. They just did an Edge of SpiderVerse, which is leading into Secret Wars, and yeah, it's
she comes from a world where instead of Gwen Stacy dying, it's Peter Parker that dies.
Exactly.
And, Gwen Stacy takes up the role of Spider-Man.
She was bit by the spider instead of Peter Parker in that world.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool. It was pretty good. You know, I think I was a little hard on Marvel in our previous episode about women in comics.
Yeah.
When I broached that, because going back and thinking about it, Marvel is making strides and they're putting in effort, and a lot of them are better. I was just still kind of just pissed off how Silk #1 turned out.
Yeah, Silk.
Yeah.
Silk #1 in the comic was not good. Marvel as a whole, not great, but getting there. They're trying.
Yeah, they're clearly putting in an effort. It's way better than they've done in the past. We're going to see some stuff out of Secret Wars that's coming up. Like there's going to be an all-female Avengers team.
All right.
Which, since everyone in the Marvel Universe is an Avenger, it's pretty easy to pull off, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking about that. Too. Everyone's an Avenger.
Everyone's an Avenger.
Everyone's an Avenger.
My favorite run of Moon Knight wow, I'm forgetting the author right now. I'll post it in Facebook later because I feel like everyone should read this version of Moon Knight. It's like Batman with multiple personality disorder.
Moon Knight's a great character.
Yeah. Moon Knight.
Are you talking about the most recent restart?
No, it's not the most recent.
Okay.
It's
which is a good one.
Houston, something Houston.
Oh.
But in his opening monologue for this series, he says, "Yeah, I was an Avenger. It's hard to be taken seriously if you weren't one."
Exactly. So, exactly.
It's like everyone in the Marvel universe that was like a major character at some point has been an Avenger.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
So yeah, going back to what they're going to be doing with Secret Wars now, though, in the recent comics, they've really been leading up to it with a story arc called Time Runs Out.
Mm-hmm.
It's written by John Hickman, or Jonathan Hickman, who's writing Avengers, and I think Rick Remender, who's doing New Avengers. I could get that wrong. But it looks like a couple of Beyonders have shown up.
Ooh, a couple? That's...
Yeah, laid some waste to some cosmic level shit. And they're the ones that are going to kickstart this Secret Wars deal, where I think it's going to be kind of similar to Convergence and the original Secret Wars, where they're recreating a battle world. And you can check out Marvel's Secret Wars website and check out, they have the battle world map, right? And if you click on the levels of this map, there's like Planet Hulk it's a map, and it's a map of a globe, and it has different just like territories cut out, and if you click on them, it pops up past Marvel story arcs like Civil War and Planet Hulk and House of M and all these big level Marvel story arcs. SpiderVerse is one of them, even, I believe. And apparently, out of Secret Wars, everything in the Marvel Universe is going to be related to something that's on this Battle World map. And I think they're doing this so that crossovers are a lot easier. But it's weird. I mean, you got an Old Man Logan world there. There's something called The Wall.
Wait, isn't Logan still dead?
Yeah, but in Old Man Logan, it doesn't matter because it's, parallel universes and stuff like that. We're talking about, again, fractal level, infinite versions of multiverses where they can pick and choose. Right. So we're going to start seeing comics published within these different various parts of the Marvel battle world. And I don't think that they're going to reset some of their numbering system because the month before they're starting like number ones. Like Hawkeye #1 by Jeff Lemire.
Yeah, all new Hawkeye #1 is coming out.
Yeah, which I'm excited for.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be good, but I mean, who resets something at...
Yeah,
would it be number 2?
They just reset Amazing Spider-Man with the Superior Spider-Man stuff. So I don't think we're going to see numbers reset with Marvel. I think what we're going to see is, because Marvel 616, which is the universe that all the Marvel, like Amazing Spider-Man and Miss Marvel and Avengers, this is the world that we're used to. Marvel also has another run called Ultimate Marvel, which I don't know what the numerical number is for that. If there
I don't
is
know.
one.
It's the one that I think the character most people would know is Miles Morales.
Yeah. Which was brought up again with this whole SpiderVerse story arc, where they actually had just like thousands of versions of the Spider-Man, and they had the numbering system, and they were dealing with these cosmic parallel dimensional vampires that I know that we've mentioned before, who came from Earth 1. But
we briefly mentioned it when talking about Silk.
Silk, yeah. So, and in the latest Amazing Spider-Man, some of the versions of their realities have been blinked out of existence.
Yeah. Like
during this time frame. So that's going to lead to a whole comic book in itself. So I think that we're going to see something pretty similar with Secret Wars and Marvel. I don't think that they're going to reset their numbering systems, but we're going to see a lot of new #1s. Like Old Man Logan's going to have versions and Planet Hulk and all this kind of stuff is going to have versions of their comic book coming out.
Yeah,
characters within those worlds coming out.
The purpose of a lot of these events is to have new number ones. So
yes.
I would 100% expect
plus crossovers, because now you can have, without having to explain it too much, super easy crossovers.
Yes.
Because if all of reality is stuck on this battle world, right, then it'd be super easy for Miles Morales to just travel far enough to hang out with Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or
they don't have to make
Wolverine,
these
or whatever
crazy otherworldly demons in order for them to interact with each other.
Yeah, which is, I think, one of the motivations behind it.
Yeah.
I originally thought that they were going to be doing this because they wanted to incorporate their film and both DC and Marvel, their film and their TV stuff into their comics. But I might have been completely wrong about that, actually.
I don't know. I could see it happening with film and... Like, there's a Arrow comic book that's out right now based on the TV show.
And Flash, but at least here in Fort Collins, they don't do very well.
No, they don't do very well.
No.
I could see them being in the comics because it's a very... I don't know, the TV shows seem to go darker in some of these comics, but whatever. Yeah, that's...
So yeah, that's the world.
Those are some world-ending events that are happening in comics.
That's the universe ending, but not really ending, just getting relabeled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what all that hubbub is about. It's just a sales tactic in the end, honestly.
In the end, we could get some cool stories out of it.
Yeah, but I think we will. I think we're going to see some fun crossovers because they're going to answer a lot of what ifs. Like, what if? And I don't know if these are specifically being answered, but what if, like, Red Sun Superman comes across Flashpoint Aquaman?
Well, what if Red Sun Superman comes across, like, the Superman that we've become accustomed to? Because, for those of you that don't know...
Superman we become accustomed to gets his head ripped off.
Yeah, Red Sun Superman is a alternate universe where the rocket that held Superman as a little baby lands in... Soviet Russia.
Yeah, lands in Siberia. Yeah,
another great storyline.
It's so good. It's written by Mark Millar. Who did Kick-Ass. Jupiter. So many good books.
Yeah, I would suggest it as well. A lot of comic books suggesting this, but I would suggest it as well. It's an alternate storyline, and it's essentially Superman, but he's got that like communist mentality. In his mind, and it's just very interesting. He comes across a Red Sun Batman, which is like a communist Batman. There's communist. There's Red Sun Wonder Woman in that as well. It's just a very well done story. I would suggest it, but yeah.
Jeez, I bet Red Sun Superman and Flashpoint Wonder Woman would get married. Even talk about a power couple.
Oh wow, Flashpoint Wonder Woman is scary powerful. Red Sun Superman is scary powerful. They
kind of have the same mentality.
Yeah, it's very much the I will destroy anyone that comes against me or my country.
So that's fun. We'll see a lot of fun stuff like that.
There's gonna be some cool stories coming out of it. So it's a sales tactic, but at the same time, keep an eye on it.
Yeah, don't freak out. Don't waste all your money on it.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where I would just get... If you're already buying comic books for DC, just sign up for Convergence and make sure that you're buying those. Mm-hmm. And then just pick and choose the other titles that you feel
like. If you're a huge Booster Gold fan, you got a comic book. You got a Booster Gold comic coming out. Like, why not pick it up?
So lame. Whatever. Okay, maybe I don't mean to insult anyone, but okay.
Whatever.
If you're a huge Booster Gold fan, please read Vertigo or Image. Your life will only improve, I promise you.
Yeah, there's a reason to answer that comic for a while, but what?